So this is just a quick video to show you how I work in my studio. This is my table here where I have all my braids and dyed fibre. Some of it I'm in the process of braiding up. I've got some socks that need labelling, they're dyed. I've got some braids that are sitting here all ready braided up, they just need labelling, that's today's job. And this is yesterday's dyeing that I need to, sorry if I'm moving too much, that I need to hang up and dry. And I'll turn you around. These are the ones that have dried, not from, that would have been 2 days ago. They're dry, ready for braiding. And then I've got the day before yesterday's here. And I won't braid them up until tomorrow to make sure they're thoroughly dry. Okay, this is my studio. It's a bit messy at the moment, but still. Outside. Okay. So, on with the work. So I'm going to just take this dyed fibre out of the bags and hang it up on my racks to dry. I just usually make it into loops that'll hang on to my rack. And I'll have to turn around and hang it on my rack, but unfortunately you won't see that. I will show you at the end when it's all hung up. So this one is merino, 20 micron merino. So these I'll leave these for 2 or 3 days before I braid them up. This particular bunch of fibre here is actually Polworth. Now, and the reason I know that is because it looks different for a start than the merino, but also to differentiate between the different fibres, I put this little bit of, it's actually flagging tape, and I use it to differentiate between the different types of fibre that I use. If I'm dyeing and the fibre is similar, I would use it to make sure I can tell the difference between fibre. This is Polworth that I got from Kathy's Fibres in Adelaide. It's just beautiful, love it. She had it processed and it's just beautiful. These are all dyed with acid dyes, Dharma acid dyes. As you can see, those zips break. Don't let it worry you. Just use rubber band. These ones I'm doing today, they're all Dharma acid dyes. Another fairly cold day today. I think our top today was going to be 15. Zip, my goodness, a working zip. Who would have guessed? On the end, fairly dark one, this one with just a few pops of colour. That one's a bit long there. That's why. That's because there's another one of the Polworth. So the different fibres weigh differently, and some of them, so therefore you get different lengths. You can't always say a metre of tops or a metre of fibre tops like merino is totally different length than a metre of totally different weight than a metre of Polworth comb tops. Okay, so this was the comb tops I got from Kathy. Another one. I do just pull it a little bit just to straighten out the kinks that are in it. Not enough to stretch the fibres too much. Normally this time of year I would have my trailer packed, ready to head off, well just about packed, ready to head off to Bendigo in a few days, early next week. Today's Friday, and normally, as I said, I would be packed ready to go on Tuesday morning to head off to Bendigo for the Bendigo, or the Australian Sheep and Wool Show it's called. But not this year due to the COVID virus. We're all staying home. Well, most of us are. This is a pretty colour, I like this one. This is the merino. Yeah. And another zip that works. So I'll do a blue one. I don't tend to do a lot of blue, but I do really like blue. Especially these ones. These are really pretty colours. Okay, this is another one of the Polworth. As you can see, this is flagging tape. You can buy it from the hardware store. I have it in different colours. I have this a pink, I have a lime green, and you can buy it in white, and it comes off pretty easily. I'll just find the roll of it. Okay, so it comes on a roll. I've had this one for a number of years, and I just cut a piece off, and it's stretchy. You can write on it with a texter or a biro, a pen, and then I just tie it on. It doesn't take the dye at all. I just tie it once and it stays there, and then to take it off, I don't even bother about undoing the knot. I just take it off, and it sometimes I try to put it on the very end. It does leave the very end a little bit discoloured where the dye hasn't got to it because it's been so tight, but then that's it. So it's a good way. I use it on my yarns sometimes too, if I'm dyeing several different bases on the one day and they look very similar. So, okay, so this is another lot of the Polworth. Last one of this one, you can see this is how it's in the mesh bags to dry, but this is where it was laid to dye. This one, you can see it's not really, doesn't really get messed up very much. If you leave it in the bags, in the mesh bags after dyeing, I put them all in the mesh bags to rinse. I don't take them out of the mesh bags until now. So after dyeing, I set them, take them out of the steamer, put them straight into these mesh bags, rinse them in that, or actually after they've cooled down after being in the steamer, rinse them in that, and then I don't take them out until I'm ready to hang them up. You can see here, that's where it was laying in the, that's how we dyed it, so it doesn't get too messed up. The more gentle you can be with your fibre, the better the end result. You won't felt it. It's supposed to be raining here today, but apart from a sprinkle, which didn't really even wet the ground, we actually haven't had any. So our paddocks are starting to tell us they wouldn't mind a bit of rain if you didn't mind. So if it's wet where you live, feel free to send a bit over for us. Okay, so here it is all hung up on my rack. I've spread each one over two so that it gives it plenty of air room to dry, and then that'll fluff up quite a bit like this.